Hey guys, come on over here. This is Paula Clevis from a Santa story with us while we're kicking up. I mean, cooking up Christmas. Mrs. Paula really knows how to add the bear to the Christmas story. Nobody can tell it like she does.
Now, I've heard this story all my life, since I was a little girl sitting on my granny's knee, and I have never forgotten it, because my granny taught me straight from the Bible. Now, you see, this angel named Gabriel, I just call him Gabe now that I've heard about him for so many years. I feel like I ought to know him. Well, anyways, Gabe came down on a mission from God and just about scared this young girl Mary to death. I mean, she must have just been shaking in her boots. Well, sandals. They didn't have boots way back then in Nazareth. Anyhow, Gabe said to Mary, you ought to be really, really happy, because God, my boss, and the great boss of everybody and everything, has chosen you to be his very special one. You're going to have his son. Now that is a real miracle. You're going to have a baby boy, and you're going to name him Jesus. Jesus, what a beautiful name. There's no other name like it. Hearing that name is more comforting than a cup of hot chocolate on a cold winter day. And Mary's fiancé, Joseph, knew what was happening because he had a dream that told him everything that was going on. So he took Mary to Bethlehem, and lo and behold, that sweet Jesus child was born right there in the middle of that busy little town. I'm telling you, there wasn't a hotel room to be found anywhere. So Joseph did his best and found a nice soft spot for Mary in a manger, because they couldn't just Google a reservation ahead of time. Can you imagine how that must have smelled back then? I mean, with no air fresheners or scented candles? Can't you just smell that? And what about that manger? I mean, that just makes me say, where is that Sealy Posturepedic when I need it? Then lo and behold, the fireworks really started. Talk about kicking something up. You would have thought the heavens were going to explode. And they kind of did. Angels started yelling and singing, glory, glory, glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill towards men. And then shepherds out in the field watching their flocks just left their sheep and went on a holy mission to find the baby Jesus. And wise men traveled miles and miles with just God's GPS to guide them. The biggest star you've ever seen shined and shined and led them right on to where Jesus was. And talk about a baby shower. They brought really nice gifts, expensive too. Nothing from a half-price sale. This was serious stuff. The only Son of God had come to earth, and that's what Christmas is all about. God's great, big, awesome gift of love that was sent down in that tiny baby. Isn't that just the most wonderful thing you've ever heard? Gives me chills every time I tell it.
Wow, Miss Paula, you seemingly add a different spin on it. Your move is not quite as colorful. I don't think your ingredients would come up on Google.
Well, you see, just like I'm using this recipe that lists all the ingredients I need to make these cookies, a long time ago, God had a recipe in his heart to send a Savior years and years before, and he did just that. He sent his only Son, Jesus, and he's the main ingredient of Christmas.
I'm still amazed when I think of how God's Son, Jesus, was born in a lowly, humble manger, sleeping on hay under all the twinkling stars and animals and all the angels shining in the heavens so bright. Ah, it's so amazing.
I never heard a story like that before, but it sounds like a good row-down camping out to me. I wish I'd been there.
I've heard this story all my life. And what I can't understand is how God's only son could be born in a dirty manger in a stinky stable. He would be God's only son, would have the king's suite in one of the finest hotels. Imagine a huge party, starry fireworks, a dinner buffet, and the host of heaven in charge of the music. Now that would be the grand entrance I think you would deserve. Not a bed in a manger.
Yes, you would think that, and that's the whole point. God wanted us to know that his son lived life just like us. He knew about everyday living. The difference was his everyday living didn't cause him to sin because he is the Son of God. Always amazes me.
It makes me want to love and serve him more. It makes